Our fifth school featured today are the Bearcats of McKendree University. They finished the 2021 campaign fifth in the conference, 3-4 with a 3-4 GLVC record and 4-7 overall. They've been picked by the league coaches to finish third this year, and that was just announced in the GLVC preseason poll. Joining us today is head coach Mike Babcock, along with junior redshirt freshman Jacob Bachman, junior redshirt defensive back Kenneth Scarbrough III. And gentlemen, welcome to the kickoff. What a great way to get the season started once again, and thank you so much for hosting. And Coach, let's talk about 10 starters returning for you, and what are some of the things you're looking forward to this season?
I'm really excited now that we've kind of truly gotten out of this COVID phase and no spring seasons, and I'm really excited to kind of have that full year with the guys, because I always feel like for us, our best spots is the off season, and I think we've had a heck of an off season. I think this is one of the hardest working groups that I've had, especially the two guys that are sitting next to me. Guys just want to grind. So kind of really excited to kind of get onto the field to see where all of the fruits of our labor have gone to and kind of get this thing going.
Half of your 10 returning starters are from the offensive side of the ball, including your starting wideout sitting next to you, Jacob, as well as your signal caller, Turner Pullen, earning all-conference honors last season. Give us a preview of how you see the offensive shaping up with those two leading the way for you.
Well, I think, in every offense, I think the quarterback is kind of where you start. How good can he be? And having a guy like Turner that has a lot of games under his belt is very exciting, to any coach. Not to mention the fact that he's a heck of a man and a great player. So very excited to start with him. And then next, I always kind of look at what are the playmakers that can get the ball. A guy like Jake Bachman, who's had a heck of a career so far. I know he's excited to kind of get this thing going one more time. And a lot of other running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, I think they can kind of fit that mold and help us move the ball, score some points. And when you talk about moving the ball, very excited for the guys up front. Guys like 6-year, Kenny Thomason, Nolan Pent, finishing it up this year. The rest of the guys up front, kind of very excited offensively. Score some points this year.
Jacob, as a go-to wide receiver last year, school record set with 80 receptions last season. Talk about the success of last season, how that momentum will carry forward into this year.
I think the momentum was able to build through this offseason. Like Coach said, we've had a lot of guys be able to stay over the summer, and then through our spring program and stuff, we put in a lot of extra work together as a team, as a receiver group, and as an entire offense and the defense as well. So we're pretty excited for this upcoming season.
Coach, you have starters back on the defensive side of the football, 4 all GLVC honorees. One of them is sitting next to you in Kenneth. And talk about how that group will lead the defense and break down the rest of the side of the football and what it looks like for you this season.
Well, I think defensively, I'm looking at consistency. Let's stay off the peaks and out of the valleys, to be able to go into each game with your hair on fire. I want guys running to the ball. I want excitement. That's what I'm looking for. And I think this offseason we were able to build it. We had a lot of coaches coming back, so they're hearing the same stuff. These guys have really worked their tails off, in everything that they've done. Very excited about the back half. I think those are our leaders, including Scooty that's next to me, but other corners, like Darwin Perkins and Drew Crooks, even at the safety position, Andrew Sherry, gets his shot, this year. So again, very excited for that. We get some guys off of injury, that we had last year, especially mid-season. So guys like Josh Bly, Evan King, Luca Gualdani, those are just to name a few that are coming back at it. So again, kind of very excited to get these guys going.
Kenneth, what do you hope to accomplish this season after earning recognition from the league coaches and leading your team in pass breakups last season?
I want that. That's all I want is that trophy. So I just want to win team games. I don't really care about the individual awards. So as long as we continue to win team games and improve from last year and work on our consistency as a team, I'll be all right.
What about you individually? Like, do you set goals for yourself as you get ready to come into a new season? or you look at, I understand the team aspect of it and everybody's about the team, I get that, but for you individually coming off a successful last season, what individual goals, maybe what have you set for yourself that you want to accomplish for the team?
I would like to have a better year than last year, of course, so I worked harder this offseason to top last year. But as far as goals, my main goal is just winning games. I don't really care how it gets done, but I just want to win games. And if it happens with me having to be a lockdown guy all 11 games, then it's just what it's going to be.
Thank you. Coach, give us your insight on special teams. You returned several key specialists. So what are you expecting from that core this year?
Well, when you look at the kicker part of it, unfortunately, we had a guy in Ryan Castle that went down halfway through the season with injury. So he is just finishing up his rehab and excited to get him back for a full season. Tremendous kicker. At the punter position for right now, Caleb Berry, I think, has had a very, very good offseason. So really excited for him to see what he can do. Very excited about our return game. If you look at last year, the guy next to me, Jacob Bachman, was our starting punt returner. Had a lot of key plays and stuff, and very excited to get him the ball. And then in the kickoff return, we had guys like Narkel LaFleur and Tim Middleton that were actually in top 25 in the nation in returns for kickoff returns. So excited to get them the ball as well. Some teams, especially towards the end of the year, were starting to kick away from both Jake and Narkel and Tim. So that means something that, hey, I think we're doing some good things. So I think if we can kind of create the trifecta of a great offense, great defense, and change field positions in special teams, I think we're going to win a lot of games.
Finally, before we let you go, talk about your schedule this year. What's the path for postseason for this team?
Win the next game. That's really what it is. And when you look at the national level and when you look at every team that's trying to make playoffs, I mean, it's going to be wins and losses. So it's not just beating the top dogs; it's beating the teams that you should or shouldn't beat. And so I think every week, and it's going to be a challenge. We have the same schedule that we had this last year. We're just playing at a different spot, and so we're playing a lot of the same teams. We got to come in with a great mindset, great attitude, great game plan, on us coaches, the execution of that game plan, the consistency of doing it all. That's what it's going to take. But like Scooty said, I think a lot of our guys' eyes are on this and how can we find a way to win a conference championship. If we make the playoffs, great. But I think we're worried about the next game. That's how you get there.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being such wonderful hosts.